Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another daily devotion. I'm Pastor Roy here at Woodlawn Christian Church, and this devotion is being recorded for Thursday, July 14th of 2022. We are in Matthew's Gospel. We've made it to the 22nd chapter, and today we want to look at verses 15 to 22. The last few days of devotions we've been talking about, and this is all still going on within just the first couple days of Jesus coming into Jerusalem and the triumphant entry and all that. The last few devotions, though, have dealt with Jesus being questioned, his authority questioned, and then he's just kind of given it to the authorities, the religious leaders, and he's just not being really kind to them. He's really given it to them in the form of telling parables that are highlighting their behavior, highlighting what they're doing. They're not liking that so much. Kind of go figure, huh? So today we're going to talk about them questioning him about paying taxes. Who do we pay taxes to? Is it right to pay Caesar? So it's a question that's designed to get Jesus in trouble, either with the people who don't like paying taxes to Caesar, or with Caesar, who likes having people pay taxes. So it's a no-win situation, they think. And it's the Pharisees and the Herodians. There's kind of an odd couple to come together, those two groups, strange bedfellows, as they say. We don't know much about the Herodians, but they're in league with Herod. That's obvious by their name. And if Jesus answered this wrong, the reason for having them there would be because they can feed it back to Herod and say, oh, by the way, Herod, guess what? Jesus just said this, and you're going to love it because, actually, you're not going to love it because you're going to be upset. So let's take a look at verses 15 to 22 in the 22nd chapter of Matthew. Then the Pharisees went and plotted to entrap him in what he said. So they sent their disciples to him, along with the Herodians, saying, Teacher, we know that you are sincere and teach the way of God in accordance with truth and show deference to no one. For you do not regard people with partiality. Tell us then what you think. Is it lawful to pay taxes to Caesar or not? But Jesus, aware of their malice, said, Why are you putting me to the test, you hypocrites? Show me the coin used for the tax. And they brought him a denarius. Then he said to them, Whose head is this, and whose title? They answered, Caesar's. Then he said to them, Give therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar's, and to God the things that are God's. When they heard this, they were amazed, and they left him and went away. So, he's answered them sort of. First of all, they come to him with malice in their hearts, as Jesus points out, trying to trap him up. But they come buttering him up. So we always have to be suspicious. Somebody says, oh, you did such a wonderful thing, blah, blah, but tell us this. So that's they're trying to catch him off guard. Catch more flies with sugar than you will with vinegar, as they say. So they're trying to get him softened up before they slap it to him. But he knows what's going on. He's not, he's God after all. He knows what's going on in your heart. Scary thought. And so is it lawful to pay Caesar's taxes or not? Of course, the Jewish people, as I said before, they don't like paying taxes. Caesar kind of likes the tax money. So he tells them, hey, you got a coin? Show me the coin you used to pay Caesar tax with. First of all, that's a problem. They are in the temple. This is where they are. You're not supposed to have a graven image in the temple. Not supposed to have an image in the temple at all. That's against the law. And so they pull out a denarius. It's got Caesar's head on it. And it also has his title. It has a pledge to him. Both of these things are wrong, not allowed in the temple. So these guys, these Pharisees that are so fixated on the law, have just been caught with a graven image on them in the temple. They don't understand. You hypocrites, Jesus called them, prior to them flipping out the coin or whipping out the coin. He knew they had it, and he knew they were hypocrites for calling him out when they're carrying that around in the temple, crying out loud. But the point is that he says, well, this is very Caesar's image. Go ahead, give that to him, whatever. In reality, everything is God's. Give to God what is God's. Everything is God. You are God's. Have you been giving yourself to God? Or whose image are you bearing? Are you bearing the image of the world, or are you bearing the image of God? Think about that. That's a hard one. That's a harsh one, perhaps not so hard. We probably know we should know the answer, but it's a hard answer to answer. We don't really want to answer it. We've ended up. He's flipped the trap on us all. We can see when we see this, whose image do we bear? Do we bear the image of the world or the image of God? That's a tough one. So, give to God what is God. Everything is God's. You are God's. The coin in reality is God's, because it's struck with whatever precious metal that God made into this world. But it bears the image of Caesar. So, whatever. Give it to Caesar. I don't care. But give your heart to me. So, I think that's what I've got for you today. I'm going to let it go at that. We're closing in on 6 minutes, so we're about perfect today. All right. Have a very blessed day, and please, please, please be a blessing to someone today. Tell them about Jesus. All right. God bless you. We'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye.